Good evening. My name is Marley Davis.
Yasmin Knox,
Dominic Herrera,
Ocean Rideout,
Alyssa Rodriguez,
and this is
Harriet Tubman, Breaking Barriers with the Underground Railroad.
My daughter Minty was born right here in Dorchester County, Maryland, 1820. Now Minty only grew 5 feet tall, was unable to read nor write, and was very religious. She was just one of 9 children with her original maiden name of Araminta Ross. Minty was just a nickname her family gave her when she was a youngin'. Later on, when my baby gained her freedom, she changed her name to after her mama, me, Harriet, and the last name of her first husband, Tubman. With this name, she took a vow to go back and rescue those left down south.
Harriet Tubman broke barriers throughout history, utilizing the strategic advancements of the Underground Railroad. For example, she would continuously go back down south to help free more than over 300 enslaved people from the shackles of bondage.
My daddy Ben Ross is owned by Master Thompson, and my mama by Miss Mary Patterson Brodus. Even though my parents are married, they were forced to work and be beaten on different plantations. My mother did her best to keep my brothers and sisters together, but she wasn't no massa. I remember one day being on a Master Thompson's plantation. My brothers and sisters were sold to a nearby buyer. She was barely able to keep my brother Moses from being sold to a Georgian buyer.
Harriet always looked up to her mother for standing up to their master, even though her mother was still punished. And like every little girl, Harriet wanted to be just like her mother.
Growing up a slave was hard. Some days it was easier to be alone in the fields and bothered in the dirt. Other days you really didn't know whether you would live or die. But that's the way life was for every slave. Nothing was more important than doing your chores, especially outside in the field.
Might as well sell the whole goddamn farm, huh? All these Negroes ain't doing the jobs. It says here your weekly average is 195 pounds of tobacco. So why is here in your quota you only have 170? You worthless dog. Now get up and get back to work. This ain't nearly enough to pay tax.
My master was so abusive to me and my family. I just couldn't take it. So I ran and ran until I got to the dry goods store, and Harriet was there on an errand from her master. I didn't know that master was gonna catch up with me so quickly.
Finally, I caught up with you. I house you. I feed you, put the very clothes on your godforsaken backs. And you want to run away from me?
Master, I can't keep it locked up inside these chains of slavery. I had to go and try for freedom.
You shut up. You there. Help me restrain this dog.
No can do, sir. That ain't no dog. That's a real human being who has as much right to be free as a white man or woman.
Ah.
Harriet got this injury when she was only 13 years old. For the rest of her life, she would have epileptic seizures and severe headaches. She would also go into dream states, which she classified as religious experiences from God. Her family being separated, the physical tragedies she experienced as a child, and Harriet having a passion to achieve the liberty and freedom inspired her to become a conductor of the Underground Railroad.
In 1849, Harriet's master became deathly ill. Harriet saw this as a chance to escape and encountered the Underground Railroad for the very first time. She traveled fast and light in hopes of escaping her enslaved life, which up until now was her whole life. She made the journey from Maryland to Philadelphia, a total of 90 miles, and as she crossed the Pennsylvania state line, she said,
When I found out I had crossed that border, I looked down at my hands to see if I was the same person. There was such a glory over everything. The sun that came like gold through the trees, and I felt like I was in heaven.
Instead of Harriet staying in the safety of the North, she dedicated her life to going back down south and freeing slaves with the help of the Underground Railroad. The Underground Railroad was a secret network organized by abolitionists to help lead slaves to freedom. Conductors like Jonathan Walker, William Still, and John Parker aided in these missions. Slaves would often travel light and barefoot in hopes to escape their masters and others out for the reward of their capture. These journeys were long and perilous, but they were necessary for freedom.
Slaves sang songs to communicate their plans to one another. In the fields, when they would pick cotton, they would sing what their owners thought was just a church song or something they had made up.
Some men would have us sing songs such as Wade into Water to inform the escapees to get into the water and make it through when time of rescue should come. When a song used Moses within the lyrics, it actually meant Tubman. It was one of her many nicknames.
Wade in the water, God's gonna trouble the water. Who were those children dressed in red? God's gonna trouble the water.
must be the ones that Moses led. God's gonna trouble the water.
One of Harriet's favorite songs was Sweet Chariot. The song said, Sweet Chariot, being the Underground Railroad, would swing low or head down south to carry me home, or take the slaves to freedom.
Swing low, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me home. Swing low, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me home.
We would only speak to conductors of the railroad in the dead of night or in short time periods. Meetings would never take place at the same location or the same day as last time. We could not risk being organized. If we had, would have had no chance of freedom. Failure was not an option. Conductors and those who helped us would be hung if they were caught helping us.
The best time to transport the baggage would be either in the sunset at night or after diversion when everybody's heads are turned in the opposite direction.
Then it's decided. We'll start a fire in the horse stables. While everybody rushes over to the commotion, the baggage will head to the dead trees, indicating that way is north.
We'll then meet them there to wade across the river. It'll be difficult. You feel the water snakes wrap around your ankles and your feet will sink to the ground, but it's necessary to create a boundary between us and the slave owners.
Yes, and it will also help wash off our scent, making it difficult for their dogs to track us.
From then, you can go to a safe house. Never staying for too long. It can be either black or white owned, staying in a basement, a secret chamber, or even a farm.
And from there, we can debrief the situation in order to travel to the north as quickly and effectively as possible.
Alert them that tonight is the night. The chariots swing low, and Moses shall carry them home.
The Fugitive Slave Act of 1793 allowed for the capture and return of slaves within the land of the United States. It also allowed free blacks in free states to be captured even if they were never an enslaved man. It allowed way harsher provisions on those who went to run away. Due to the resistance of these laws, the Fugitive Slave Act of 1850 allowed way harsher punishments on those who were to run away.
These laws made it harder to save enslaved members. Therefore, I decided to take them farther up north, all the way to Canada. This made for a longer and more perilous journey, but it was worth it. Seeing men happy and free from daily lashings was worth it.
Sometimes slaves have been sold or brainwashed into thinking they belong and exist only for the use of their owners.
Moses, we must go back. My master is cruel. I won't live if they catch me. It's only a matter of time before they send the dogs after me.
They've already realized you're gone. It's only so much time before the dogs come hunting. We have to keep moving to the next station.
But we won't
Listen, I don't want to shoot you, and I definitely don't want to kill you. I want to help you. Let me help you. But if you refuse, I will end it here and now. You're either in or you're out. What's it going to be?
I'm in.
Good.
Her name was Harriet Tubman, and with the help of the Underground Railroad, she helped free over more than 300 enslaved people, including herself.
Even with obstacles like the Fugitive Slave Act of 1850.
And having to redirect the Underground Railroad routes to avoid capture.
Harriet Tubman was still a famous American abolitionist and conductor to the railroad for which she never lost a passenger who rode her train.
Tubman passed away March 10th in Auburn, New York in 1913.
Even with her death, her work will never be forgotten, nor ignored.
Every great dream begins with a dreamer. Always remember, you have within you the strength, the patience, and the passion to reach for the stars and change the world. My name is Harriet Tubman, and I, along with my other brothers and sisters along the Underground Railroad, helped to create a world in which black slaves could be free.
Harriet Tubman, breaking barriers with the Underground Railroad. Thank you.